Hello and a very good day to Sir Azwan bin Aziz. Today, my group will present a case study about Legionella contamination. Our group consists of 3 people, that is Ahmad Ameerul Irsyad bin Maslani, myself Ahmad Daniel bin AZAHARI, and lastly Ahmad DZARRIN bin JONI alias JUNEH. For introduction, what is Legionella? Legionella is a genus of gram-negative bacteria that cause legionellosis and contains the species Legionella pneumophilia. Where does Legionella come from? Legionella bacteria are found in abundance in natural water systems such as rivers and ponds. The settings, on the other hand, are seldom favorable for people to get the illness from the source. Exposure to Legionella growing in purpose-built systems where water is kept at a temperature high enough to support development, such as cooling towers, evaporative condenser, hot and cool water system, and spa pool used in a variety of locations can cause breakout of the sickness. Here is a brief history of Legionella. Legionella was found during an epidemic in 1976 among attendees at an American Legion conference in Philadelphia. Those who were infected developed a kind of pneumonia that was later dubbed Legionnaire's disease. In total, 182 Legionnaires became ill and 29 died. Researchers at the Center for Disease Control, or CDC, Leprosy and Rickettsia branch, led by Charles C. Shepard, discovered that guinea pigs grew unwell after being infected with lung tissues from patients who died. In guinea pigs' tissues, a few gram-negative bacilli were found, but these were thought to be natural flora or contaminants. Because the conventional process for isolating rickettsia at the time included penicillin and streptomycin to prevent contamination, the bacteria could not be isolated in embryonated eggs at first. So, who discovered the Legionella disease? On the left here, we got the picture of a man that discovered it. His name is Joseph McDade. And on the right here, we got a picture of a Legionella colony in a petri dish. Methodology: Legionella bacteria is usually found in abundance of natural water systems, such as rivers and ponds. But how can we detect and make sure that the water is not contaminated and is safe to be used? First is testing. Legionella is typically isolated from water by filtration followed by heat or acid treatment, then plated onto non-selective BCYE agar, and then with a selective GVPC or cycloheximide agar. An alternative media, GVPN, replaced the potentially hazardous cycloheximide with natamycin. There is also MWY, that is BCYE with glycine, polymycin B, anisomycin, and vancomycin, which contains dyes that color the target colonies, aiding in their identification. Incubation is usually up to 10 days at 36 degrees Celsius. Lastly would be prevention. The primary method used to control the risk from Legionella is water temperature control. Water service should be operated at temperature that prevent Legionella growth. Hot water storage cylinder, that is calorifier, should store water at 60 degrees Celsius or higher. Next, hot water should be distributed at 50 degrees Celsius or higher. The thermostatic mixer valve need to be fitted as close as possible to outlet, where a scald risk is identified. Lastly, cooled water should be stored and distributed below 20 degrees Celsius. I will now pass the next slide to the next person.
So now I want to explain identification of the Legionella in cooling tower. Alright, cooling towers are frequently used as part of buildings or industrial process centralized air cooling system. This structure, most importantly, have water and fans to remove heat from the air. Inadequately maintained cooling towers can produce aerosol, which is water droplets in the air containing Legionella bacteria during this process. The germs are dispersed by the heat rejection fans in cooling towers. The key point is number 1, for cooling tower operations and Legionnaires disease prevention, scale corrosion, sediment control, and system cleaning are essential. Number 2, an automated system should detect and adjust the residual disinfectant. Number 3, the dangers of Legionella in open and closed circuit cooling tower system are similar. Identify risk factor for contamination. Because creating a risk management plan, which is RMP, that takes all of these elements into account can be difficult. We narrow down the top 5 risks associated with Legionella disease outbreaks from cooling tower system to the following 5, which is number 1, stagnant water, number 2, nutrient growth, number 3, poor water quality, number 5, deficiencies in the cooling tower system, number 5, location of and public access to cooling tower system. Okay, for the first, stagnant water. The risks connected with stagnant water are described in the Public Health and Wellbeing Regulation 2019 as a lack of water recirculation in the system, as well as the presence of dead-end pipes and other connection in a cooling tower system. Pipe work with dead ends is commonly referred to as dead leg. Nutrient growth. Nutrient growth concern, according to the Public Health and Wellbeing Regulation 2019, include number 1, algae, biofilm, and protozoa are all present. Number 2, temperatures in the water should be within a range that allows microorganisms to proliferate quickly. Number 3, the water exposure to direct sunshine. Next, poor water quality. Water quality is a constant since it influences the chance of Legionella reproducing in a cooling tower system. Water quality is influenced by a variety of factors, including number 1, external contamination of the water with dust or soil. Number 2, accumulation of solids in the system. Number 3, the choice and levels of biocide and anti-corrosive. Number 4, the presence of high level of bacteria, including Legionella. 5, the presence of nutrients supporting microbiological growth. Deficiencies in the cooling tower system. 6 dangerous categories are covered by cooling tower system deficiencies. Number 1, system size. Number 2, system design, which is surface area available for biofilm development compared with water volume. Number 3, physical condition of the system. Number 4, open system. Number 5, aerosol generation. Number 6, drift elimination. And lastly, cooling towers location and public access. A tower in a inconvenient location may be exposed to environmental contamination, such as from construction site, which can raise the level of nutrient and hence the numbers of bacteria, including Legionella. Furthermore, if a cooling tower system is located in an area where a large number of people have access, it can be a problem if the system becomes contaminated with Legionella because all of these people will be exposed, which is the risk will be higher if the people exposed to the tower are from a susceptible group.
Okay, next, monitoring water quality parameters. The quality parameters such as disinfectant, residual, and temperature levels shall be monitored on the regular basis by the water management program team. The team can verify that building water system are working in a way that minimizes dangerous conditions that should allow Legionella and other waterborne pathogens to proliferate by monitoring these parameters. If the team discover that a control limit such as temperature or disinfectant residual is not being met, they will take corrective action to bring circumstances back into an acceptable range. Assess the effectiveness of control measures. Legionella is bacterium that can cause harm to a variety of items, including equipment and the human immune system. It can have the negative impact on the environment if not controlled. If Legionella is under control, there is no need to worry about negative consequences because there is no need to worry about the negative effect of Legionella control. It can have a positive impact on the environment. Finally, if this germ can be controlled, the effect will not be severe. The benefit of preventing the Legionella virus in humans is that there are no more incidences of mortality or bad effect on humans. This is because many people will develop serious symptoms as a result of the Legionella bacterium, according to the annual report. The causes discovered are numerous, since it is easy to breathe in water storage tanks, and it will travel immediately down the water channel to dwelling, hotel, industries, and other locations. As a result of the bacteria prevention, the community no longer has to be concerned about the ugliness because the responsible parties have taken care of it. That's all for today. Thank you. Assessment on Legionella contamination, testing, and monitoring. All Legionella monitoring and sampling plan for cooling towers and cooling tower system shall include routine sampling and testing for the presence of bacteria, including Legionella bacteria. The water shall be examined for both general aerobic bacterial species and more specifically Legionella bacteria.